I want to show you how you can win an insane amount of scholarship money if you're in university or thinking about going to university. You should not get any debt if at all possible. And in this video, I'm going to go through scholarships, how to do the scholarship process properly. I've done it for my sister and she's going to nursing school right now with debt free. And I've done it for a few other friends as well and won them a lot of money by helping them out. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how to do it. What is the process to do scholarships properly and how you can actually win an insane amount of money and keep whatever's left after you paid for your college bills. This is such an opportunity. Let's get right into it. The first step is actually choosing a scholarship. Now, there are so many scholarships available because so many companies and big donors want to have an improved name for themselves and they want to give back to their communities. And because of that, there are an insane amount of scholarships available for students. And a lot of these scholarships don't even have a lot of competition. So you want to look up online. I'll also link a lot of those scholarships below. All you got to do is go down below, click one of those, start finding some scholarships you're interested in. I usually go for around $5,000 to $50,000 because this is a good range. And if you win anything, you're going to win a lot and it'll help you for your college. So what you do is you first pick a scholarship and keep in mind, look at actually the details, like what are they looking for, and think if you can actually write an essay like that. I will help you write the essay in the next part, but it is important to understand that if it's really complicated or you don't understand the topic at all, it's fine, move on to the next one, pick a few. Now, I usually pick around 20 to 30 of them and I apply to all of those because the more you apply to, the more you'll win. And also because every essay does need to be a little bit different, but not that much different. It can sometimes help because if you pick a few that are similar, you just have to change up the essay enough that it makes sense and then you can win that money. So because of that, I would choose anywhere from 20 to 30 scholarships. Apply to all those, take a few days and if you have time on the side, apply to those. It only takes a couple hours. And then from there, you actually start writing the essay. The application process, make sure that you get all the information correct. This is incredibly important because if you have your name wrong or your telephone number wrong or email or anything wrong, that can obviously hinder you. So you want to make sure you take your time on the process, application part. It's not usually very difficult or challenging. Then you go for the essay part. The essay part is what we're going to talk about next. And this is incredibly critical because if you do this part right, you could absolutely win an insane amount of money. Now, before we actually start writing, you do want to make sure you understand the tools available to you. There are so many resources out there that can really upgrade your writing for free. So make sure you check out the tools section down below. I don't make any money from it, nothing like that. They're all free just to help you to make sure you actually upgrade your writing before you even start. Because if you make sure that your grammar and spelling is always correct and then you have certain keywords and certain things that are helping you out already because of those resources, that will already upgrade your writing for free before you even begin. The tools are already sifting through and making sure that you get some of those things right. So that's a really helpful first step before you even start writing, is make sure that you're using the resources and tools available for you. And that way, once you actually start writing, you're already on a good footing. So for example, Grammarly is a really good option. The free version works fine, and there's other options as well that will really help you to upgrade your writing right away as you're writing, so that you don't have to worry about it as much later and you don't need to edit as much. And that way you're just writing and focusing on what you actually want to get through to the people giving the scholarship. So this is very important. Make sure you use the tools available to you. Make sure that you're not just writing on the whim and trying to correct your spelling and grammar. You want your spelling and grammar to be 100%, and from there you can go and actually win some money. Now, in writing your first draft, it is incredibly important to understand exactly what is being asked from each scholarship. Now, a lot of scholarships just want to know a little bit about you and what exactly you plan on doing in the future, why you want the scholarship, etc. However, sometimes they ask deeper and more questions that involve wiser answers. And so it is very important to understand exactly what is wanted from you. And once you understand exactly what they're looking for, you can better write your essay. So first and foremost, read the details of the scholarship, like the first page and what exactly they require from you, exactly how many words, all of that. But do not focus on the word count so much in the beginning. What I often do is if I know that there's 250 word requirement, I'll write anywhere from 300 to 500 words instead, and then afterwards come back, trim it and beautify it a little bit and make it sound really good. So the trick for me is that I write as much as possible. I write about everything I can think of in that topic, and then once I have that skeleton written, once I have an idea of like exactly what I'm looking for and what it is exactly that I want to write, and I have a lot of extra that I can trim out, then I go through it, I modify it a little bit, I trim out the parts that I think are not as impressive or don't sound quite as good. And then once I have an essay that's basic, it doesn't have to be super fancy just yet, I just have a skeleton, then I can go and beautify it and improve it and edit it and so on. So the first step is definitely making sure that you write your heart out about the topic that you chose. Make sure that you get into details, you get into as many details as you want, even if you're not planning on keeping it afterwards, because this will get you into the flow a little bit. You'll start to write. And from there, once you have a good skeleton, you can start to work with it and make it real nice. Now that you have a beautiful skeleton essay, you have an idea of what exactly is going to be in the end product, you want to start to upgrade your essay. And this is important because you don't want to use too many similar words. Like if you watch my videos up until now, sometimes I use words like a lot too often, and it just doesn't sound good. A lot. So instead, you want to try to trim out words that you don't need, especially in an essay that's short, because you want it to sound really catchy, really smooth. You want it to flow almost like poetry. And so you want to use synonyms for words you've used too often and cut out any excessive words. If it doesn't sound good out loud, it doesn't sound good in writing either. So read it out loud to yourself a couple of times. See if you can catch some inconsistencies or some bumps. You want it to sound smooth and you want it to go, just keep flowing like a river, okay? And then once it sounds good, it flows well, and you've replaced a lot of the repeating words. Like I told you, some of the programs down below help you figure out what words are repeating. Then from there, you make it really nice synonyms. You read it out loud and see what it sounds like. From there, you'll often get a better idea of what exactly is going on, because once you hear it out loud, you'll see, okay, yeah, that part is definitely not necessary. I can trim that part, and maybe I can use a better word than many or a lot over here. And then from there, you're starting to get more smooth. It sounds a little more spicy, a little more, you know what I'm talking about, the quality of someone who would win some money. So do that, make sure you read it out loud a few times even, and then go to the next step. Now, once you've edited your essay and you made sure that you got rid of all the fluff and you upgraded the words, the next part is incredibly important. And that is, because you're in such competition with a lot of other people for the essay, you want to make sure that you, whenever possible, whenever you're asked for it, you want to list your reputation and the things you've done in as much detail as possible. Now, this means do not be shy or humble in this section. If you've tutored people, mention it. If you've been in charge of a group or a club, mention it. If you were a president of something, mention it. Any extracurricular activities, any community service you've done, make sure you add it as much as possible and whenever asked, because this definitely looks good. Just like to get into a university, they look at the extracurricular activities, especially if it's a prestigious university. With scholarships, they want to see that the person they're giving money to is active in their community, is an activist, is doing good for their community. And so because of this, if you want to actually get your essay approved and win money, make sure that you're not shy and you're not humble about the accomplishments that you've done. They're asking for it. That means they want to know the truth. They don't want you to hide it or make it look small. You want to give the exact details of what you've done, how impressive it was. Do not boast, but make sure you add it in as much detail as possible, because this will absolutely impact your essay. Any activism you've done, any good you've done for humanity, make sure you add it and add that into your belief system within the essay. Flow it together, make it nice and smooth, and this will absolutely increase your chances of winning a scholarship essay. Every essay that I've won, including many that were $70,000, $7,000, $10,000, these essays I won because I understood what the people that were giving the money wanted. And I also made sure it was very polished and elegant and beautifully written. And I added all the accomplishments the person had into the essay whenever possible. And this came together to just an explosion of flavor in the essay. It just sounded really good. And of course, that's why they won. So make sure you add all this together. You tie it well, nicely into a neat package. If you have any more questions or you want to actually get help for your essay, let me know. I'll try to reach out and make sure I can help you as much as possible. I'm obviously very busy, but I will still try to help. If you have any questions about the scholarship, just ask me. I've won multiple times, so I know that it's definitely possible. And if you use this method, you can absolutely win. Give this video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more. Obviously, if you enjoy this kind of content, let me know, because usually I'm more into the finance stuff, but I also like to help people win money, especially if they're in university, because I don't want them to have debt. Debt is such a hard thing. So make sure that you follow the steps as much as possible. And if you have any questions, let me know down below. There's obviously a lot more that goes into it, but this is a very good basic first step in writing scholarships. Maybe I'll try to make a video going into even more depth, exactly what I mean by it. Obviously, all the resources and tools are below. So all you gotta do is go down below, go to the tools, resources, follow the steps in this video, and of course, you'll probably win something, especially if you try out for enough of them. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have an incredible day.